Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Cast of Us. This is our Last of Us discussion show. I'm one of your two hosts, KassemG, and with me, as always, every week is Bruce Green. Hi, Bruce.
Oh, Cass, you're the best. I just got. I want to make sure that I'm serious. I want to make sure that people understand that Kassem is just a genuine, fantastic human being that I've gotten to know. And we hung out a few weeks ago, and I would like to hang out more with Kassem, but I also don't want to text him too much because that would be weird.
No, I give you carte blanche. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, are you sure? Because I
don't duck you.
You don't. That's true. You do actually respond to me, which I appreciate. But also, it's kind of needy, right? I don't want to be the needy one in the friendship.
It's nice to be needed, I will say.
You're needed.
If you were anyone else, it would be weird. But I know who you are inside and outside. I know what the inside of your home looks like. I know the layout. I have the blueprint. So there's really nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about when you lay your head down at night.
Personally, what I look like inside and out?
Oh, you are. You know how most people are made of 70% water?
Yeah. What am I? 70% what?
Well, I was going to say like kombucha or something, You had a very healthy spread. Very healthy spread when we went over there. Nice setup.
I thought you were going to say I was made of stars. I thought you were going to be like, he's made of stars.
He's stardust.
Oh,
no,
wow.
It's a fucked out cliche. I'm not going to go there, but it is true. You are stardust.
People don't like when we don't talk about The Last of Us.
We are going to talk about The Last of Us. And by the way,
they
guys,
don't like it though.
Is this from your YouTube channel? If you're watching this on Bruce's YouTube and you're having an issue with anything we do, you can suck one.
Whoa, wow. I mean, I didn't say it, but Kassem said suck one. So,
right? It's like, what are you going to not subscribe to me? You don't give a shit. Go ahead. I don't fucking care.
Nice, Kassem.
If you want to, though, that'd be all right with me. We are a spoiler-filled show. We talk about The Last of Us. We talk about the show, the series on HBO that people seem to really love. We talk a little bit about the game, too, but not a whole lot. That's not kind of the idea. We're not going to do split screen, here's the game, here's the show. We're going to talk to you about the show, about how we like it as people who enjoy television.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce, last night, the 8th episode, the penultimate episode of the show aired. The title for last night's episode, When We Are in Need.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about your initial reactions of last night's ep.
Okay, so the people have been talking about the pacing of last night's episode because if you played the game, you know a little bit about the cannibals, but if you don't, I was curious to sort of feel you out. If you only watch a television show, do you think the pacing is too quick? I don't necessarily think the pacing is too quick. I kind of like that they are going from one major event to the next. It feels good to me.
Yeah.
And I also thought that people kind of thought that the cannibals, whatever, were like Ellie would never have joined them or whatever. And I was like, I don't think that she ever was supposed to in this episode of television. I think we were only supposed to be scared of them the entire time, which I was. I was scared of them. There wasn't one time I was like, well, maybe these guys are good. Like I was always worried. So,
yeah, is that? So I haven't really been trying to have my ear to the ground and see what the internet has been saying. Are they?
That's what I've been. Yeah, I've been looking.
They thought that the show wanted them to maybe possibly believe that Ellie was going to join them.
Yeah, which was that a thing in the game? I don't know. I wasn't sure if that was a thing in the game. I don't. Again, this just to me, the show feels like Joel and Ellie versus the world right now. Like, I don't necessarily think that there is anything that I don't know. The entire show has set up the fact that Joel and Ellie never, ever find any friends. It's just constantly bad things happening to them. So.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't think that was the case. I really had to think about what I thought about the pacing because the game is a much slower paced thing. I even wondered earlier in the season if they were going to do this as a 2-episode arc.
Yeah.
And I still maintain that there is a version of this arc that is 2 episodes and is a little bit more impactful. And that would give us a nice round number, a 10-episode season, which would have been fine. It's okay. I thought the the false sense of security in the beginning played nicely with David, but like right away, since we're spoiled with the game, right at the very top when he said when the girl's like, "Are we gonna bury my dad?" He's like, "We can't. You know, we gotta wait till the spring." I'm like, all right.
I was like, wait a minute, what? They can't burn the body or like throw him in some rocks or something?
Oh, they'll grill him. Oh, they'll burn it. They'll burn him medium rare and serve him up. That's what they'll do. I knew kind of not to trust him, but I did really like I did really like the character of David, and I thought he was like exactly as creepy as he should have been. You know, they added a religious angle to him.
The actor was great.
Man, the actor was great. They added a whole religious sort of, you know, because he wasn't that way in the video game. He was just sort of like...
He wasn't, right?
No.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so I like that. I like the idea that this guy who a bunch of people really like looked up to and sought to lead them was also like one of the worst people in the game. I'm sorry, in the show. And yeah, it's a solid episode. I wouldn't say it was... I'd say it's a top 5 episode for me. It was good. I would say it was maybe even top 3 or 4. I'll go as far as to say. It was nice to see one of the more memorable moments in playing through the game on screen. Although there was a little bit of like the whole end of like the battle between Ellie and David in that restaurant was a very scary moment in the game because it was like, this guy's crazy. It took me a while to beat him because I was like, you know, hiding too much.
Yeah, of course.
And so, in the show, obviously they've got to keep to a schedule and they kind of had to get through it. And I wasn't upset about it because ultimately it's about Joel and Ellie reuniting and us seeing them, sort of for the first time in like 2 episodes together. And so, yeah, I thought it was a really solid episode. I'd put it at a 6.5, maybe 7 out of 10. I thought it was good. It was good to see Troy Baker in the show.
That's pretty low, actually. Interesting that you say 7 out of 10.
It's a 7 out of 10.
Okay. All right. I was thinking more along the lines, for me, probably an 8. I mean, like it was good, but going back to my Joel and Ellie versus the world, somebody said, Bruce, you forgot Tommy's commune. They were helpful to Ellie and Joel. Yeah, they were, but they couldn't stay. So kind of doesn't matter.
They couldn't stay.
It's like it's one of those things where like, and that's how the game plays out. It's like everybody, you know, like there's a few people that are helpful to them, but that's not what we're supposed to remember about this journey.
Exactly.
We're supposed to feel like that there's tension the entire time because there is.
Yeah.
And that's the worst part of this is that like you just know this dude David is bad. Like you know he's bad when he and I also will give the game credit because I thought I knew, give the show credit because I thought I knew it was where the episode was headed. I thought they were going to be cannibals. However, David, the actor, I started to try to give him the benefit of the doubt. And the more that he talked, the more I kind of bought in. The more I was like, well, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe the show's going to twist it a little bit. And maybe this won't, maybe there's somebody else in their group that's bad, but David's actually not. I was trying to, because he really was, I was really trying to give the show credit because I thought the actor was doing such a good job. So. Yeah,
there was that scene, you know, when he was talking about how he used to be a teacher and then he became a preacher. And I'm like, oh, this guy could be, maybe he's not as bad, you know, and the show did, again, it was a sort of luring into a false sense of security, which I thought it did a really good job of. Actor did a phenomenal job. We should give a quick shout out to Scott Shepard, who played David. Obviously, Troy Baker, who voiced Joel in the video game, plays his right-hand man, James.
Kills it.
Does a very good job. Troy Baker's got great chops. He really does.
Oh, yeah, always. He's always had that.
Yeah, he's got good chops, and it was nice to see him play such a different role. But you can still hear the Joel in there a little bit. You know, it's kind of
of course, fun. Yeah. It was funny to see him dress up as a redneck too, because Troy always looks so great whenever you see him in pictures.
Very stylish. Yeah.
And then when he's dressed up like this, he looks like total shit. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, he had his red cheeks. Everyone looked like shit, broken capillaries.
You know why, right? Because they eat humans.
Whoa, is that what happens, dude?
I mean, Kassem, you said you wouldn't mind eating humans, and
I'd
a
get
bunch of
over
people
it.
jumped to your defense. However,
Mm-hmm.
I did a little research with my chat, and they were saying that there is a thing called prion disease that you
Prion,
may
yeah.
or may not
Brain,
get
it's
if
like a
you're
brain disease if you eat people.
that's only if you eat their brains, though. I don't know what happens if you eat their flesh. You might be okay.
It's got
Not
to
sure.
be okay. It's got to be. And the way they made it with that tomato sauce, it's like,
It was so gross. The way it was hilarious
yeah,
because like
gross. Ooh.
again, I was still trying to give the show the benefit of the doubt. I was like, well, maybe they're not cannibals. And the more that they served the food, the more I was like, oh, clearly it's so disgusting. Like it's like you
Mm-hmm.
could hear all their spoons and their sloppy noises, and it was just all red and like
Yeah, we'll get
nothing
into it
looks
because
like that.
I really did enjoy
Ugh.
that scene. And so in this show, they sort of live in a place called Silver Lake, Colorado, which is a ski resort. Uh, Seemed very nice. You know, it seemed cold, and we open up with sort of this woman here, this girl, whose father we learned recently died, and David is having. What would you say he's doing? Is he doing a sort of like a is he doing a churchy? Is this church for them?
It's a sermon,
Sermon.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's probably doing his weekly sermon. But also he's probably trying to rally the troops because there was a death.
Yeah.
So there was a death in their group, so that I'm sure everybody's super discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, funeral service-ish. And yeah, and that's why she's so bummed out because she lost her dad.
He has a moment here where he looks like, oh, wow, this guy's, comforting her. He's got the cardigan, he took off his glasses, laid down his like leather-bound Bible, and this guy cares. Look at him. He's a good leader. Then we're introduced to James. And they have a little conversation here about James's faith, And so what do you get from James, the character that Troy Baker plays? Well, where's he at emotionally? Is he 100% blind belief and faith in David, or does he have like thoughts around it?
No, no. So what I was getting from James' character, Troy Baker's character, was that the group was starting to sort of maybe think about revolt, think about rebellion a little bit because David kind of feels like David might be leading them astray a little bit. They're having to ration. And James is the one expressing doubt in a nice way. He's trying to tell David, hey, just so you know, there are people that are kind of upset. Like they're not getting to eat as much. Everybody sort of feels like garbage. And David's like, hey, I wouldn't lead you astray. You guys have survived up until now. Do you believe in me or not?
Right.
And Troy Baker has to kind of go, yeah, all right. So.
Yeah, he's if there are shepherds and sheep, like they mentioned in the episode, Troy Baker is clearly a sheep, who could one day question the shepherd, but he would never become a shepherd. He is comfortable in his role here. And then we cut back to Joel. Joel still in the basement of this house, still sick, and Ellie, God bless her, still taking care of him. Gives him a little piece of. What do you think they're eating there? What do you think?
I was trying to figure that out. It looked to me like
stale bread, or what is that?
Yeah, like a protein bar or something. I don't know. It always looks like garbage. I would really love to know what they're serving. Television shows never show what people are surviving on.
They never show. What would you?
They never show. What is it? Was
Can
it
I
cracker?
ask you this?
Jerky?
Say we have access to a Costco, right? World ends. We're in a Costco. What's the thing that you grab? What's the thing you grab the most of? What are you walking out of there with?
You get all the food that doesn't spoil.
Okay.
So you get the most processed.
Right.
Like a beef jerky or dried fruit, dried meat, etc.
Yeah, I would think like Cliff Bars.
Oh, there you go. Protein bars. Those last forever. Yeah.
Cliff Bars would be. People would sell their bodies for a bite of a Cliff Bar because they're so dense. They're somewhat tasty.
You pack with sugar.
Oh yeah, I would go for Cliff Bars. I'd go for Cliff Bars. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And And in the game, as in the show, she's out there, she's hunting, she's got to provide, right? She's got to find some food for them because, as we saw, she is splitting morsels with Joel. And she's like she's got Tommy's gun there, and there's a little bunny. Then she spots a deer, just like in the game where you've got to hunt the deer. And this is essentially how she ends up upon David and James, who find the deer, realize that somebody must be close, and there she is. Does she look? Well, if you turned around and you saw this girl here behind you, making a deep voice, put him up. What do you do? Do you do the David method, which is like calm her down, talk her down, or do you just go for the gun right away?
I think I probably would have tried to talk her down if I was the leader, because you don't want to just kill a little girl in cold blood.
Right.
But also she's using that real gruff, angry voice, and it sounds like she means it. So like she might just put a bullet in between your eyes. You never know.
She knows. We know she's got a little violent streak in her. And I'm seeing here in the chat. Chat says jerky, fruit roll-ups, Hawaiian rolls, Robert Irvine protein bars, Mass Crispy.
I don't know what those are.
Is that your own company? I've never heard of those. Top Ramen, 20-year-old Chef Boyardee. Yeah, Chef Boyardee, I know would last a little while. Spam is not a bad idea. These are all
absolutely
good. These are all good things. Solid. We would all survive, guys. I would want you guys on my team. That's what I think.
You're going to be our leader?
Of course.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't realize. All right, so Kassem's our leader. Chad, are you all right with Kassem being the leader of our survival group? Chat?
I would I wouldn't hide the fact that we were eating people like David. I would publicly. It would be like, guys, we're having like Steven tonight. Like we would.
It's a weird thing. Eating. I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking to myself, if I were David and people died, I would go, hey, I would just ask everyone, are we all okay with eating people? And if there is a couple people that are like, no, then we're like, okay,
yeah,
we don't do it.
Right.
That's it. It would be pretty
Those
simple.
Are the people
to me.
You eat right away.
Well, hold on. No, hold on.
They don't align with my politics. So.
Or how about this? How about this? We only serve people to the people that want it.
And then the rest
people
kind of just
raise their hands,
figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest, and then the other people are like, well, I'm going to only eat deer. And like, well, good luck. Go hunt yourself some deer.
I think that's a great point. You offer to the people that want it. How soon, say 50% go, all right, I'll eat people. How soon before the other 50%?
They give in.
Yeah.
They have to. They got to.
How
they don't
soon?
have a choice.
Are we talking days, weeks, months? It's quick,
days, like
right?
3 days. Yeah, like 3 days. Because everybody sees them chowing down
the
that
tomato
spaghetti.
sauce and the venison. You go,
yeah.
Look at those cubes of human flesh in that tomato sauce. It looks great.
That's right. And then eventually they go, all right, never mind. Give me a leg.
Pablo says I would eat his ass, and he's probably right. Dyla says he's a day one people eater, and I'm glad you guys are realistic about it. I'm glad that there's none of you are trying to pretend that you're better than you are. We have to realize that there is no room for sort of posturing in the future when there is nothing. It's survival, and you say goodbye to a lot of things like dignity and ethics and morality and things like that for a warm
really?
meal.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Oh yeah, but
whatever.
Donner Party. I mean, Donner Party, the movie Alive. These are all things that actually happened.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's alone with her here. What's sort of his goal in having this conversation with her? He seems really nice to her. Do we know why? Do we have an idea of why he's being kind of like, I get it, listen, it's all good?
I think it's probably just because he does. I don't think he wants to kill her. It doesn't feel like he wants to
kill her. No, yeah.
He doesn't want to get rid of her. I mean, like, hold on now. Kassem's hinting at something that comes later in the episode. But I think initially he's just sort of like, I don't really want to kill you. I feel like, and this is kind of where, again, I let the show get me a little bit, where I was like, oh, maybe he's not so bad. Maybe he's just like trying to recruit, because he can see she's a good hunter. She clearly knows how to survive. So she'd be a boon to have in the group.
Yeah, and he even sends James out to go get her penicillin,
Yeah.
which kind of catches James off guard because that's like a lot of that could be used to treat their people, and why are we just giving it to this girl? He's obviously attempting to build some trust here, and I see in the chat he's disarming literally. Yeah, he is trying to disarm her. He is trying to do it in both senses of the word, and she kind of buys into it. And James comes back. He's like, "All right, boss. Should I do the thing?" He's like, "No, man. Let her go." And he gives her the drugs, and she goes off. But David essentially knows that they can find her and they can track her pretty easily. And he's not interested in hurting her because, yes, he's got some sort of fantasy in his head about like what.
Now, hold on, you're jumping ahead.
What his plans are for her. He sees something in her.
You're jumping ahead. You're just talking about. I mean, again, maybe he's just trying to just get another good person to the group.
Okay.
Maybe he just wants some. Maybe he just wants a friend.
Maybe he just wants a friend, right? A peer. Yeah. A 15-year-old girl, however old she is.
I'm not sure about a peer.
Just someone to talk about all the same stuff he likes, right?
Right. They have the
same interests,
common ground, same interests, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know how you administer penicillin. I would have done it the same way Ellie did here, which is just like right in the middle of the mess.
Oh, oof.
It's weird how drugs work, how antibiotics work. It is weird. Penicillin also you get from mold.
Mold, yeah, bread mold. That's right.
Fungus. Funny, right?
I mean, like, I would imagine the show did some research on this, but would this work? Could you just jam it in the wound?
I mean, how have you ever been to the doctor and they jammed a needle full of penicillin in you? It's usually oral, right?
I can tell you that I took penicillin for a while after a surgery that I had, and it was a tablet. I had to take it with water.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, well, this might work.
This might be a local injection might be a nice quick way to do it. It does seem that because she gives him 2 shots, it does seem like his infection's a little less wet on the second shot. It's like less red, less true. Wet. And she's still caring for him, right? And then we're back to Silver Lake. Cut to this tub.
Yum.
Look at this, man. We're having cube steak tonight. Look at this. Delicious.
That looks great.
Delicious. And if this guy's the one that's giving you the tub, everything's cool, right? Everything's venison.
Yep.
Do they believe that? Do they believe that this is venison?
I think they're all sort of willfully ignorant of this. I think there's probably a few people that are like, we get it. Like,
right.
Why? How do we keep getting food? I mean, that would be my first question, right? How do we keep getting food when I never see a deer or a horse or a rabbit? I'd be like, where is the food coming from?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I would ask.
Again, turn a blind eye, whatever I'd got to do to keep getting my cube steak. And it is kind of this scene here where they're already eating and he comes in with a deer, almost like, well, if that's a deer, then what are we eating? But they kind of already, don't you think they kind of already can tell that they might not be eating?
Look at it. It's all sloppy and red. Come on. Is that, and also, by the way, that was thinking to myself, clearly the show had to play it up, right? But is that what human meat, would human meat be disgusting and red if you ate it? Wouldn't it just look like something else that you'd eaten, like beef? I don't know. I'm not sure. Kassem, you've eaten human meat. What does it look like?
Well, are you saying that they got served? Well, that was tomato sauce.
Are you sure?
Well, do you see the cans of tomato sauce? Did you think they were just giving them like bloody cubes of meat?
No. I just thought it was funny that they played up that it was so red. I was just fucking around.
Oh, no. Actually, I think you have a point there. I think you have a point that it did look so bloody and like kind of messy. And there they were like savages gulping it up.
Like,
yeah.
Like this, making all sorts of disgusting noises.
Mm-hmm.
But I was actually thinking to myself, what would happen if you actually had to serve human meat? Like, would it just look like somebody said pork in the chat?
Totally.
Would it just look like pork?
Supposedly we taste like pork.
Oh.
I don't know if Jeffrey Dahmer's on. I think he might be on record as saying that, but I've heard that. I've heard that we taste like pork. And pork, not my favorite meat. I like bacon.
Me, same with me.
I don't like a Korean barbecue. I don't like. I like to just get to the beef.
I'm the same way. I agree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought you did like human meat, though. I thought, Kassem, I thought you wanted to eat human meat. I thought
once
you
you
wanted to give it
taste
a shot.
you develop the hunger, Bruce. And you can't not want the meat again. He walks in and he tells him, "Hey, we found the guys that killed your pappy." And then and he's like, "Well, we're gonna figure out what to do with him." And then the daughter, who just lost her father, goes, "You should kill him." And he smacks her.
He backhands her.
He backhands her real hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes over like an abuser, and like, is all very sweet to her, hits him, gives him the salt, and then gives him the sweet right away.
Why do you know so much about this?
Oh, trust me. I've been abused and I've been the abuser. It's like,
wow, you've done it all.
Done it all. And he's got a giant heaping mound of quote unquote.
He does. He has the most.
Here.
He has the most venison, right?
He has the most, and he's our leader, and so he must be fed. So God may speak to him.
He needs the strength.
And I liked the images of everyone with their tiny bowls, and his like giant. Everyone had a bowl. He had like a big old plate. So
it's got like
appreciate
14 pieces of meat. Like there's so much on there. Like he loves humans.
That would fill you up. I'm surprised he's not fatter than everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to go back to a time where our leaders are fat. Like Trump almost got us there.
Yeah.
Like we're the old kings. They're all like plump and like, oh, there goes a well-fed man. He's so full he can only think about politics. If he's hungry, he won't care. He won't care about what's happening.
Is that what people think?
Yeah, diplomacy goes out the window when people are hungry.
But fat people and skinny people are hungry. Everyone gets hungry.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess when you see a fat person, you go, he has been fed and had enough.
Yeah.
Whereas a skinny person could always have been hungry and never had enough.
That's true.
Okay, so now Ellie knows that they're going to be coming back for her. She sees that there are some dudes out there. She gives him another shot. We see it's a little less wet. She leaves him with a knife, and then she opens up the door. She hears the guys, and then realizes, oh shit, I've got to draw them out away from Joel. They know that I'm there. They know that I'm with a guy who killed one of their own, so they're going to be coming for me. So she does a very brave thing, and that's lure them away from Joel. And she's in. What a cowboy she is! Here, very John Wayne on top of the horse, shoots him, and Troy Baker, who plays James, just shoots the horse in a very sad, horsey moment. Shoots the horse. Ellie comes flying off, and boom, they got her.
That's right.
They're taking her right back.
She's concussed. Her eyes are crossed.
Yeah, her
eyes are crossed the whole time. It feel real bad for her.
That was great. I wonder if she did a take where her eyes weren't crossed, and then Craig Mazin was like, "The scene's missing something," and she's like, "Hang on, let me try something."
Yeah. Every time I see, this is just me personally, but every time I see an actor cross their eyes in a show to indicate that they are hurt, it makes me laugh because I'm like, maybe you would do that.
That had to come from
life.
somewhere,
But that's the easiest way to depict that you are hurt is you
tongue out, eyes crossed. Yeah. It is great. I'm glad she did a more grounded eyes crossing here, which I appreciated. Still pretty wacky. Yeah, sure. It's still pretty wacky. So they take her in. Cue Joel, right? Still in the mattress, but he knows he's got to act. He hears, which are clearly not Ellie's footprints. Here's a guy with one of these sick beanie hats that used to be really popular around the year 2001.
Well, that makes sense because 2003 was the apocalypse.
Yeah. They really nailed it. You don't really see these too much now,
Do you want one? Is that what are you saying?
Would you like me to buy you one? Like in the early aughts, I had one.
Did you feel good when you wore it?
No, I felt warm.
Okay. All right.
It was more function. Somebody made that and they were like, it's the best of both worlds. This will
It's
be
a hat and a beanie.
It should be the biggest thing, and for a while it was. Joel, who's like still like barely alive, manages to subdue this guy he dispatches him pretty easily.
This was what people were saying online, and I tend to agree, which was like he's like dying for days with a fever.
Mm-hmm.
She hits him with some penicillin. I think there's supposed to be at least a day that had passed between two shots, I want to say.
Okay.
But she hands him a knife and she's like, Joel, you got to do this. They're coming.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets up and starts just stabbing. I'm like, he's like one-shotting. He one-shots this dude right away.
Yeah.
We'll get to the torture scene, but like, he's got no issue with any of this. Like, so maybe that would happen. I don't know. It seemed he recovered quickly. For being on death's door.
Yeah. Sharpshooter in the chat says Joel does seem superhuman sometimes. Crispy says plot armor. I agree.
But it's Joel. But we've seen Joel be a cold-hearted killer the entire time. So like, to me, that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, we know Joel is a badass.
If you had a daughter out there, you would probably summon some sort of extra strength. You always hear about those people that have like their moms that like lift up the car because their kids are trapped. They get that adrenaline burst because it's
right.
They seem, if you can somehow have enough of a cause of a reason to do something, sure. If Ellie wasn't in the picture, I don't think Joel does any of this. I think he kind of just gives up.
I would agree. Shaka said he was very weak, but stab in the neck. It doesn't matter how weak you are. Yeah, but he does a lot of other things after stabbing one dude in the neck. So yes, you're right.
There's like a choking out. I don't know if you've ever choked anyone out, but there is a lot of energy that you gotta exude to like choke somebody out. You've really got to like try your hardest for like a few seconds.
Mm-hmm. Kassem, I've never done that before. Have you done that before?
I've been choked out, and I could tell that person really put their all into it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well,
this is Ellie back at the Silver Lake jail. She's sort of there, and they kind of have this conversation of it seems like he's just trying to get her to like join, right?
Sure. He's like, hey, you know what? You seem like a leader. You seem like you know how to fire a gun. You seem like you need to you know what it takes to be a part of a group. So join. And again, not for 1 second did I think Ellie was going to do this, because she's like screaming "fuck you" at him and stuff like that. She's all over it. But also, I think she discovers that they're cannibals before David actually even started talking to her.
Yeah, I think that comes up here very soon. You know what she needs? She needs the Scared Straight program. She has no respect for authority at all, and God bless her. It's kept her alive this long. She needs like a 300-pound like prison inmate telling her to hold on to his pocket, and screaming at her so she can have a little bit of respect and get on the straight and narrow. That's what I think. That's the takeaway.
You sound like David. Yeah, Kassem. You sound like David. Are you okay?
You have one chance, Ellie. This is a cool scene. I like this scene. I like when Joel's a pure savage.
Really? Do you? It's funny. Yeah. It's funny you say. I'm glad you brought this up. This is the one part of the episode where I didn't like this. So
good. No, good. This is where we Siskel and Ebert. This is where we're different.
I didn't like this because, and I know that this is kind of what the show is getting at. I do, but boy, am I tired of it in television, which is characters that I hate. So and I get it. We are all black and white, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But watching Joel torture somebody and then just kill him, and be like, "Hey, tell me where they are." Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know if he says "I'll let you live," but I guess it's sort of implied in torture. He tortures him, tells him where he is, and then he just stabs him in the stomach. And I was like, "Damn!" Like,
you think that's too cold?
Boy, do I not want Joel to succeed. Like,
do you think it's possible? Right. Yeah, it's not a great feature, but do you think he's like had enough experiences in his life where he thinks, if I don't just kill these guys now, I'm going to have to kill them later, or they will have another chance at killing me later. And so he kind of has to do this, right? It's not a pretty
That's totally
job.
what he's thinking.
Yeah.
No, that's totally what he's thinking. Like I'm seeing chat say like, this is old Joel. Ellie's in trouble, so the gloves come off. I mean, yeah, but he could have just left him there.
He's
like, but again,
he's a good man.
No, he's
what
not.
we're
Yeah,
saying
he's not.
is Joel is he's a killer, but he's not killing quote unquote innocent people anymore. These guys are in his book guilty of potentially hurting A, the cure for the virus, but B, somebody he really cares about now.
So
which is more
it's
than
pre-crime. It's pre. So you're talking about Minority Report.
Thank you.
Yeah. So they're killing before. Do you think that there might be an issue with that, Kassem? No.
No.
No. Okay. All right. So they're
No,
killing
not
people
at all.
that potentially may do something wrong, but have not yet.
I think that's a foolproof system to keep our city safe. As we've seen in Demolition Man, starring
Right.
Wesley Snipes as Simon Phoenix.
That's right.
This is the scene where she. Yeah.
By the way, I just want to just like purely because I know whenever I say this shit, I get 15 comments on my video that are like, "Bruce, you didn't get it. Bruce, blah 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 blah." Yes, I got it. I understand.
He got it, guys.
I know who Joel is. I know why he did what he did.
Yes.
However, it makes me not necessarily like Joel or root for Joel.
Right.
And that's just me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
So,
and I think you're spot on. It's
that's just for me.
He's a complicated guy who does not great things for ultimately a good reason, which is why it's like it's not all black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
This is the look of Ellie as she sees an ear on the floor. David,
it's not about like it's okay. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Somebody said it's not about like it's about survival. This is a television show, guys. It's fiction. It's not meant to be actual reality. So that's what I mean.
As the character, we're talking about we like or dislike the characters.
I'm talking about television shows.
Right.
This isn't. If this were events that happen in real life, absolutely. Hey, we would have a conversation about actual survival, but this is a television show where I'm supposed to enjoy watching what happens.
Yeah, I'm 100% in agreement with you. And speaking of people we don't like, God, David here, his true colors really come out. We know that now they are eating people. Ellie sees a man's ear, and I don't know what else that is down there, but it could be part of a face, right?
Or maybe like a finger. That could be like a piece of the ball. That could be a testicle.
I could be a testy.
Yeah. Look at that.
Wow. Okay. Very interesting. This is all of a sudden now she sees him, and he knows he sees her, and he essentially tries to tell her, "Look, I'm doing what I can to protect my flock." And sometimes it's not so pretty, but you get it because you're also a leader. I can see it in you. I'm surrounded by sheep, but you're also a shepherd, and me and you together. He says a lot of he's like grooming her. He says a lot of things like we can together.
It's the Emperor and Luke Skywalker is what it is. That's what it is.
Oh, let me ask you this: did the Emperor want to fuck Luke Skywalker silly?
Whoa! Oh my gosh! You jumped right to it. Okay, yeah. David also basically implies that he wants Ellie to be with him sexually.
Yeah, in the creepiest way,
So now what's funny, by the way, is that we already know that David kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because he's a cannibal and all this other bullshit. But then they're like, also, he wants to have sex with her, and you're like, well, okay, well now I really hate David.
We really
okay,
hate
all right,
David.
we get it.
This is a tough role for an actor to know that 15 million people are going to see you as a child predator, sicko cannibal, but kind of cool, right? Like what a position to be in.
He plays it well. He plays it really honestly well. I really liked what this actor did with this character because he just for a second kind of gets me a little bit. I'm like, oh, all right, but then when he does this, when he puts his hand out, and you're like, oh, jeez.
There is a world where I think this works on 8 out of 10 people. Ellie.
What? Really?
Yeah, I think
they're cannibals.
I think there are 1 Ellies to 9 not Ellies. Yeah,
they're gonna hold on. They're cannibals. They're gonna kill Joel, and he wants to child bride her. And you think 8 out of 10 people say yes to this?
Yeah, including me.
Okay,
I'm in,
including Kassem.
Yeah,
all right, Kassem's in.
I can
coast.
Interesting. I can steer the ship with him be eating giant bowls of meat. I don't need to know where they're from. These guys have it made over here. She breaks his finger, and straight from the game, she tells him, "My name's Ellie." You can tell him that's the name of the girl that broke your fucking finger. It's a cool line.
It's a great line.
Goes, what was that? Oh, tiny little pieces, insinuating that he's gonna kill her. He does like ram her face into the bars, which something about seeing this is like very disturbing. Like an old man like hurting a young girl is like, it's just it's tough.
Absolutely.
I hate it. I don't like it. But we know. Here comes Joel. He's going to save the day, isn't he? He's going to do everything we want him to do, which is save the helpless young girl. Boy.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I think he manages to kill 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
I think he stabs one, stabs another in the chair, and then I don't know what he does with the third guy. What did he do? Just like shoot him? I don't know.
I don't know, but he's stacking bodies.
Stacking bodies, no problem with that infection, by the way. Just walking around doing it.
And he walks
going
in,
crazy.
He walks in and he sees these bodies hanging. I did not screen cap it just in case because there is some donger and some breasts.
Oh, there is? I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
you're looking at donger and breasts.
I paused it. I zoomed it. I
cut
have
up
it on my
bodies
phone.
hanging down?
It's on my phone wallpaper. I saw it, and I didn't want to show it just in case we get taken down. But it is a nice, a gruesome image, and we shouldn't be showing it on the show. What's happening here?
Well, they're gonna cut her up and eat her. Yeah. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna cut her up and eat her. I mean, that's what Kassem. From the way you're talking, it sounds like you're into this.
No, I mean, her meat would be too rough.
It'd be too small. Too small.
Yeah. Well, we also find out she's tainted. She's tainted meat.
That's right. She's infected.
That's her whole excuse here, right? That's her ace up her sleeve.
Well, she'd already bit David. So she bit David and then says, "I'm infected." And they're like, and to me, that kind of like, I don't know, that really stops them. They still kill her regardless. They just won't eat her. But yeah.
Yeah, we put her in a separate pile. We don't eat this. Maybe we feed it to something. Actually, I know you couldn't even feed it to like a cow.
Kill her and burn her.
Yeah, you got to burn her. Yeah, you got to burn her. And this is our last scene with James. This
Troy
is
Baker.
Our boy Troy Baker gets a meat cleaver right to the neck as she gets away. Somehow more plot armor where, like, as you can see here, full on easy target, and just manages to put a bullet here, completely miss.
Right. Thank you for saying that, because I noticed that the way she got away was kind of like, whatever.
I understand shooting guns, like it's a much harder experience than we may think, right? Because when we think, we go like, in the arcades they're very easy. You're not dealing with recoil. You're not doing, but she was like 6 feet away. You know, that should have been a kill. It should have been an easy kill. And instead, our boy Troy Baker here, who seems at peace, completely done for. And then enter our big boss battle, right? She grabs a sort of
hot poker.
Yeah, hot poker. And she's in the restaurant, which is where we are in the game when we fight him, which is if you guys have played the game, it's a very scary playthrough.
It's a tough fight too.
It's a tough fight. You're walking over, and you got to be careful because he has broken glass and he can hear you. And he comes running. He's quick, and it's not
scary.
Super easy. It is scary. Yeah. She throws the poker in the corner, and then boom, we've got a nice backdrop here. It is lit, and this guy, the devil himself, surrounded by the hellfire. A lot of good shots here. He's talking to her like he does in the game, where he's like, "Come on."
Ellie,
yeah,
Ellie.
It's some very very cool shots here. Hats off to the cinematographer. Well done. She gets a stab in, which is nice. You like to see a little stabbing, but it doesn't stop him from sort of mounting her here and holding her up, which is, again, you just hate to see this. And she manages to grab what she grabs? She grabs something and hits him, and it's kind of all over.
She just hits him over and over and over. Over and over and over.
Over and over. That thing that they do, it is kind of a trope in movies where the person's like crying while they're like repeatedly smashing in the brains of the person that they're fighting. And she's getting out all her scaries on him. And she runs out.
I love it. I love it. I loved watching her chop. I mean, I think I'd probably do the same thing. I'd probably be hitting that dude's head over and over and over.
Yeah. The same. He was a perfect creep. And this is like one of those scenes where you're really touched, right? You're really touched because he has that line where he's like, "It's okay, baby girl." And the last time he said that was when he was with his daughter. And we've kind of come like fully formed. This relationship is a father-daughter relationship. Right. And she looks at him. The way she looks at him breaks me. She's done such a wonderful job. I only keep being more impressed by Bella Ramsey here. Pedro Pascal has done an amazing job as well. His character's obviously a little more nuanced and it's more underneath, right? There's more like the iceberg. All that stuff is underneath, and you just kind of see the tip for the most part, except when he was with Tommy in Colorado. Bella is more, you see more of her iceberg, and it's the two of them together have been great. And there was a really cathartic moment here at the end, and where they're kind of finally back together. Joel seems okay enough, and that's the end of the episode. The two of them are off.
You got a little Easter egg for you. You got this shot actually. If you go back when he hugs her. He puts the wristwatch in frame.
Oh, yes.
If you can get that one. That's there you go. That's Sarah's wristwatch. Good job, Wolf Dog. I mean, obviously, like it was one of those things where like there's so many parallels between Ellie and his daughter's relationship in this specific scene. But good job on that catch.
It was great. Great job, team. This is why we like doing this live.
Yeah. No, it was a good episode. I mean, again, like
good episode.
I'm enjoying the pacing of the show. I like that things are getting done in one episode's time frame. I've had issues with a few of the other pacings of certain episodes, but these have been great. Like the one with Sam and Henry was great. Mm-hmm. This episode was really great. I've just enjoyed it.
And as you know, same. I thought this was it's a really solid series. I think it's one of the best, if not the best, video game adaptation I've seen. I'm trying to think of anything better, including movies. And I don't know. I mean, besides.
No, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't count Ninja Turtles because they were like comic that was turned into a show, even though the game was out. By the way, new Ninja Turtles trailer dropped today. Did you see it?
I did, but I don't care.
I thought it looked so cool, Bruce. I love
Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, but I have yet to see something that has made me excited.
Okay.
Sorry,
right.
Kassem.
No, it's no problem. Yeah, I think they're stupid too.
Now, Sonic is... I think it's stupid. Sonic is fine, but Sonic's not the greatest.
No.
Sonic's not prestige movie or...
No, we're going to have to say that for our next podcast series. One episode left.
Watch Sonics?
Yeah, we're going to do all the Sonics.
All the Sonics? There's only 2.
Yep. We're going to do all of them back to back to back to back. Tune in next week. We have the finale, guys. Supposedly it's only 40-something minutes long. We've got a lot. Yeah. Ichabod's Cream, thanks for the sub. Then you're on a 2-month streak. I really appreciate you. Fassbender's Assassin's Creed was a good effort, at least. I don't think. It was so bad. I don't know. That was one of the worst things committed to film.
I saw it in theaters. It was really... It bored the hell out of me.
If Fassbender's a tremendous actor, that was a very bad movie. But I have high hopes for the end of this. I hope. I think we're going to see Ashley Johnson, who plays Ellie in the video game. She's supposed to be in the series. There's only one episode left, so we'll probably see her at the end. Will she be the Doctor? Who knows? But I can't wait. I can't wait to see where they end up. You know, is it going to be exactly where the video game ends? And obviously setting up a season 2. I think season 2, for me, will be more interesting if they do it.
I think also, are they going to set this up? There's no way they're going to pay off the season finale in season 2, right? Like there's no, we got to get the whole story arc of Last of Us, right?
Well,
they can't hit us with a cliffhanger.
I don't think they can hit us with the cliffhanger, but we can. I think at the end of the first one, they're just like out of the hospital, and then like they're that's kind of it, right? They go to the
it's kind of the end of their journey, at least in the first game. But I assume that they were going to wrap up in the same place the game did. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. We'll all find out together. Same time next week, Monday, 6 p.m. We'll be here. If you guys are watching this on Bruce's YouTube channel, click that subscribe button. Click that notification bell. That way you know when these go up on his channel every week. And I really appreciate you guys leaving comments. Tell us Tell us how quick you'd be before you started eating people. I gotta imagine it's most of you. I really do. And there's no shame in it. There really isn't.
Yeah, that's true. And also, make sure you tell me that my opinion's wrong, because that
Tell us
happens
both.
a lot.
Yeah, tell us both that our opinions are wrong. Yeah, two
You just tell me
experts
that
and
my-
professionals in the field.
You just tell me my opinion's wrong, and that's totally fine. You get those smoothies?
Smoothies are here.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna go eat them, and I'm gonna see you guys all tomorrow on the stream. All right, Bruce. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
You streaming at 1 p.m.
Actually, no. I'm doing something exciting and fun.
What are you doing?
Something I don't know if I can talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, I will look forward to it. But it is tomorrow.
Ooh. It is tomorrow, but I'll stream it in the evening tomorrow, but just not in the afternoon.
Okay,
So.
we'll tune in. Follow Bruce on all his socials. That way, if he tweets when he's live, you go.
I don't do that, Cass.
Okay,
Just
whatever,
turn on,
dude. Just
turn on,
just turn on your notifications.
just turn on Twitch notifications. That's what I always say
That's
to
all you
everybody
need.
that wants to watch on Twitch. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and we'll see you next week.